Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the Neca Toys Alien Resurrection Alien Queen Deluxe action figure. You know, I have been a little bit reluctant to review this particular figure. Not because it's bad by any means, it's an awesome flippin' figure and I am so glad to have it in the collection, but because it's just a tough figure to handle, especially when you're working on reviews, and if you're like me and you got OCD and things need to just be completely right on the thumbnail and in the frame, it can be a nightmare. But the figure is amazing, people. It's pretty much the same as the one from Aliens, the blue one, only it's brown. That's pretty much it. There's really no other key differences between that and the box. And with that said, the first Alien Queen was really flippin' good, right? It was super duper accurate to the movie, and this one pretty much is as well. She has a lot of details, things I wasn't actually expecting when I saw the figure go up for pre-order, and I'm glad that they did it. But I think there was a missed opportunity here, ladies and gentlemen. Let us all remember Resurrection and what happened to the Queen. What was her fate? And of course her fate was being killed by the newborn alien, and her head literally exploded. And so that was a missed opportunity right there. An extra head sculpt that isn't in too fine of a condition, if you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, revisit the movie or look that scene up on YouTube, because it was pretty gosh darn gross. But anywho, before I go on talking, let's take a closer look. Alrighty folks, I actually have to go handheld for this one. The box is just way too big. You get a nice image of the Queen right there, looking pretty gosh darn cool with her xenomorphs down there, and I own a bunch, so it's going to be a pretty cool setup. I like the box. You got the almost like police banner over here, like the crime scene thing, but it kind of looks like an airlock, really. And of course, Alien Resurrection logo, Alien Queen Deluxe action figure. Top of the box has another image of the Queen with her xenomorphs, looking pretty damn cool. Got the Real Toys logo. See what's going on the ooh, this is pretty cool. Got the more of that ship kind of design, which I think is pretty neat, kind of common with the with all the boxes, and I keep all the boxes, by the way. I'm a weirdo. And there's Ripley standing against her, which did not happen in the film, at least not like that. And alright, the back pretty much shows her articulation, her accessories, what she can do, and it just, man, look at that diorama back there too. It's never gonna happen, is it, Neca? And here's a bio of the film, so you can pause and read that if you want. And for you nitpickers out there, here's the bottom with the barcode. Right there you can see Randy. If y'all follow Neca, you know Randy, you gotta fire your QC guy. Yeah, I'll keep reminding you in every video. Alrighty, and here is the figure in all of her glory. I can't use the turntable for this one, folks. She is way too massive and, like I said, a little bit unstable. It's not too bad. I actually had more trouble with the previous Queen because of loose joints, but luckily mine, the Resurrection one, is a lot better with that. I will be doing a comparison to the original Queen Alien later in the video, which I am not looking forward to because it's behind a bunch of figures and I have it in a pose that, it's just perfect right now, fighting the power loader, but I'll do it for y'all. I know, I love y'all too much, but take a look at this beauty. This is going to be an unconventional review just because she's so gigantic. I'm just going to go all out of order, just start showing you the figure. Given an overall view, she is glorious. Man, I am really lucky to have this. Oh, look at those teeth. Let's try and zoom in on those a little bit. Got the transparent teeth. So flippin' cool. Look at all that texture. The brown is really vibrant on her. You know, in the product photos, and I had conversations with a lot of people about this when I put up my pre-order thoughts back in the day, and people were basically saying, you know, the brown really isn't that strong on her. I'm gonna stick with the one from Aliens, not too much of a difference. And you're definitely right, there hardly is a difference, but in person the brown is a lot more vibrant. The camera, the lights I got here really is not doing this figure justice. The paint is very, very vibrant, and it is very different compared to the original Queen, which again I'll show later, and I was really impressed by that. The same goes for pretty much the xenomorphs, actually. The brown is really, really vibrant on them, and you know what? Because we have her in kind of the perfect position right now, right? I mean, she's a little bit calm, you know, she's ready to strike, but she's thinking about it. Let's bring in a bunch of xenomorphs. And I got an army of them, folks. Alright, right here, you gotta protect the Queen. They're not posed. I will do that later, but okay, we've got one. Let's bring in the others. Let's put you back here. Actually, you gotta protect the Queen's backside. Alright, let's bring in some more here. Got one. Don't worry, I'll zoom the camera out a little bit here. Probably get to see more of my review station. Yeah, I use a pretty big background, by the way. It always looks small because I usually just review small figures, but no, it's big enough for the Queen. Okay, let's put you... Oh, let's turn your head a little bit here. Oh, come on. Ooh, you almost fell. Right there. Alright. Let's bring in more. You gotta army build these, you know, it's... Gotta get the Queen's army. Put you right here. And last but not least, I don't even know if you guys can see this, I'll check in a sec. Got the McFarlane ones right here. Alright, there we go. You can see a little bit of what's going on here on the setup. But yeah, I got a lot of these guys. Here's the McFarlane one, the other McFarlane one, and then got a bunch of figures here for size comparison, and a bunch of aliens. So she is surrounded basically by all of them, and it really makes me wish I got that extra head sculpt to use for the newborn, which I'll show her next to her in a bit. But yeah, these are a lot of aliens, and I'm glad I army built them because look how cool this setup is. And I like these McFarlane ones, they really hold up, by the way. If you ever have an opportunity to pick these up, they're stylized, but they're really, really nice. But anywho, let's actually take a look at the figure officially now. Close up, details, let's go. Alrighty, let's start looking at the head. I'm going to show this figure from the side first, just because again, it's hard to handle her. Of course, we do have the translucent teeth right here. They actually have a yellow tint to them as well, but they are fairly transparent, probably not shown up too well on camera. And the head, again, it has a really nice shade of black and a lot of gloss, as you can tell. And mixed in with the brown, it makes it a really, really unique color. Keep in mind, I don't have the inner mouth in there at the moment. I'll show that in the accessories portion, but man, look at those gums. That's crazy looking. It's just, there's so much detail in this thing. It's crazy. And I like how the, right here, how the gums kind of shrivel up. And if you go back and watch the film, Aliens or Resurrection, it did the same thing. The animatronic or the puppet or whatever, it's, the wrinkles would form whenever the owl, whenever she would hiss or the mouth would open. Trying to get a better view of her right here. Looking pretty sweet. Got the gigantic dome, which is just absolutely crazy looking. Look at that brown color. It's, again, really vibrant. Have even some, like, touches of bronze almost in there. It's interesting. So the paint variety, it's really well done. You do have black shading there on those armor plates, and looks weathered as well, which I think is pretty gosh darn cool. The spikes here, they're very pliable. They're not really sharp at all, so Keep that in mind, and let's take a look at the neck here. Got all those ridges and whatnot, looking pretty good. And got in there, got part of the spine and stuff. These are all kind of bendy, so it makes moving the dome, the head, a lot easier. Let's try and get a better angle here. Let's try and zoom in. Look at all that detail. That's crazy. All that shading, all that gloss. It is so well done. Even in here, look at all that they sculpted, all of the muscle groups that make the arm move. That's insane. And the armor plating is awesome. Got her little hands right here. Actually, no, these are her little hands right here. And let's see if I can zoom in on those. Right there. Her knuckles are a bit silver, fingernails are silver, and man, the arms are just very well done. A lot of detail in there. Again, I'm not doing this justice. There's so much more that I'm not showing you. Let's check out what's going under. Ooh, look at all that. Look at all that detail. I don't know why I'm doing a southern accent, but yeah, here's her hand. Again, got the silver fingernails. And that glossy texture, the muscle groups, all those, oh here, those coils and stuff, and tubes. It's very well done. And I really like the shading here as well. Makes it look really gritty on the shoulder there. Or the top of the arm, rather. So, very well done. These are a pain in my ass. Oh, Neca, I wish you just made these so that they don't even come off. I wish they were a hard plastic too, because they bend. They bend very easily. This was a problem on the first Queen that I was hoping they would fix on this one, but I guess it was just pretty much a reuse, so that's a shame. And they get very warped because of the heavy dome, right? Whenever you move the head, it warps these, and they just get in the way, fall all the time. I'm almost tempted to glue them in there, but you know, you glue them in there, then how can you articulate them? And honestly, how long would they stay like that too? If you move the head too much, they'll snap off. But ooh, look at all that detail in there, actually. I just noticed that. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the rest of the figure. Got the rest of the spine right there. Looking good. Nice black shading in between those groups. All the armor right here and everything. It's pretty sweet looking. Got the leg right here. Man, this thing is so flippin' cool looking. Got the feet, the high heels as I like to call them. And this is, again, I mean, yeah, it's soft enough. I thought it was a soft plastic, but there you go. Look at all that. Again, it's really impressive what they've done with this. Let's look at the feet. So yeah, she's got the silver nails right there. Nice brown shading. Front of the legs are actually black, and if you look right here, there's gray parts as well. Some patches of gray to give it some variety. So that's nice. Take a look at all that. And the tail. And tail's awesome. I mean, let's take a look at that. There we go. Pretty sweet looking. Got the spike right here. And as you can tell, the tail is really, really bendy. So I'm glad that I got here. Let's take a look at the spike a little more. Nice shading in there. Even got some patches of green almost. So look, she's got a lot of detail, man. I'm telling you, it's nuts. Let me try and move her while on camera. Oh gosh. Oh, now you're holding together because we're on camera, huh? No, you weren't doing that earlier. Yeah, so let's... Oh, I just noticed that the fingers actually merge into a black on the fingers. So the hand is brown and it merges into this black. That's very cool, actually. Yeah, I just noticed that. Here's a better look at the arms, the mini arms. So, she is held by here. You know, let me kneel down and let's take a look at everything in there. So, plenty of detail throughout the figure. Every nook and cranny is painted, is molded. It is wonderful. What Neca did is actually smart, is that, so you have this, you know, this grabber right here, the stand, and it actually grooves into these little holes on her belly and stuff. And so that was smart, because I didn't want just some random hole to stick the stupid stand in, so I'm glad they were actually able to make the stand work with the mold of the figure. They didn't have to alter anything. So I'm happy about that. That's pretty cool. And they did the same thing on the original Queen. I'm just mentioning it simply because I didn't review that one. And I'll probably get around to it in the Trophy Room series, but ooh, you can tell the scale of this thing is just nuts looking. There's a better view at the mouth and everything. Trying to get under it as well. Transparent gums, all those, I don't even know what to call these. It's just weird looking, but yeah. This is a really nice figure, and it is super duper accurate. I mean, it's a lot of money, but take a look at this thing. You really get the real deal. Minus QC issues, we gotta fire that douchebag. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here is the part that I am really dreading, and it is, of course, articulation. I am going to show you every single bit of articulation to the best ability that I can. Alright. Okay. Alright. The mouth, of course, can go out that much and can fully close. And the head is on a ball joint, so it can turn and move. Of course, that falls side to side. And this part here is pliable plastic, very pliable. So you can get a lot of head motion. Just like in the film, which I thought is pretty gosh darn cool. It can do anything you need it to do. Another part about this figure that is super cool, and it does it in the movie, is the dome can retract. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I mean, it'll fight you a little bit. There we go. So, it's easier to do on the other one, on the Aliens Queen. This one has a much tighter joint, but that's okay. So for the neck, you have two joints. You have one right here that's just right before the turkey neck, and then one at the base of the body. And really, it can turn just like that and go side to side a little bit. This one's a bit tougher. Let's see if I can get it working. Right there. And it can go left, right, up and down, everything. So it's just, again, it's really hard to do on camera. It's a son of a bee. Okay, and she's deciding she wants to fall over. Alright, let's take a look at the arms now. So they have ball joints at right where it connects to the body. So, let's see. Up and down. It can go further, but the stand is in the way. And it can go side to side, and it can swivel, which is pretty cool. And you do have a single jointed elbow right there, which can also swivel, which I thought was a nice touch. The hands can swivel and go down and up. No finger articulation on these though. Alright, so let's take a look at the bigger arms now. Again, there is a hinge joint right here attached to the body, but it also can swivel. So the arm can go out approximately that much. It's actually a lot considering how bulky this figure is. Okay, let's put it down. You gotta be a little bit gentle. It is resisting me. And it can, of course, go forward and back. But you see, the cool thing about this is that, yeah, it can swivel where that hinge joint is, but this piece in here actually moves. Oh, man, let's see if I can get that. Oh, see? There we go. So, man, it's crazy. These can, you know, they can swivel, go forward and back, up and down, everything. They're really fragile. They'll pop off. It's inevitable. They'll pop off. You can't really avoid it. I mean, it's not as bad as the one from my original Queen, because again, that one just has problems. But again, just, you know, be aware. Alright, so the elbow joint is single jointed, but that's fine, and it can swivel, which is nice. Let's see if I can move this here so I can show you the hand now. There we go. Okay, so the hand, much like the ones down here, the little ones, it can swivel and go out and in, and the fingers though cannot move. I think they could have at least have added a joint here. That would have been cool to get the articulation in the fingers. Not the end of the world, but you know, I mean, it's been a couple of years since the last one. They could have improved on it a little bit. What can you do? Okay, I'm gonna remove this B word off her stand, and we're gonna get a little bit more hands-on. Okay, so there is a joint right here that moves side to side, up and down, actually a lot up. So she's pretty dynamic there. The legs, let's see what I can do here. The legs can go pretty much do a full 360, which is nice, and they can go out and in, and much like the joint over here, if you look closely, it moves right there, in there. Probably not showing it off too well. Alright, she has a swivel at the knee, and it can go forward quite a bit and back, and same with this one right over here. Right there. And I believe that this one, yeah, it can also swivel right there. Alright, the feet can swivel here, right there, go out and in, and the foot has an ankle pivot, which is nice, and can do a flat foot if you want. Alrighty, and last but not least, the tail. Let's try and move her to the side. Can rotate and do a full 360 if you wish, and the bendy wire pretty much ends right here. So, you know, I'm really not going to spend too much time on that. It'll work just fine. I got no problems with it. And yeah, I think that should cover articulation. And gosh, folks, you know, that was a nightmare to do. Though, this is why I was so reluctant to review this. It is gigantic, so many moving parts, and so many details. I probably didn't even show all of them, but whew. It's an impressive piece. It really is. Okay, accessories. Now, you do get this alternate stand piece. Now, the one I have now, it's attached, like I said, in those grooves, right, in the mold. This one, I won't show it off just because it's a pain in the butt, but you'll notice that it has this skinny part, and basically, really what it does, it goes in between the little arms here, and it holds it. You know what, I'll probably like to use this one when I pose it. I think it's a little bit more stable. With this one that I have now, it can lean back and forth a little bit because of those ball joints, or not ball joints, those, you know, spheres at the end of the, you know, the claw. And you also get an alternate stand metal wire, not metal wire, just a metal stick. And I don't like to use this one. Just doesn't work too well. Every time I try to get her in like a lunging pose, her legs kind of collapse a little bit. It's hard for her to hold her own weight, but it's not like, again, I'm not going to really have it in a pose where it's going to be lunging at anybody. But, you know, it's cool that they give us these options. I'm okay with it. So, and again, I'll probably use this alternate piece because it's a little bit more stable. Now you get two other accessories. You get the mouth. So let's take a look at this one here. It has some nice detail. It is silver, pretty much a reuse of the prior alien. Looking nice. Got the teeth right there, which are also silver. The entire thing's basically painted the same. I don't think there's even black shading. Same with this one here. Right there. And much like the original Queen, you just plop it in the mouth. There is a port at the back of her mouth, and the mouth goes in this way. The shorter one is up top, and the longer one kind of like the underbite. Alright, open her up, and let's see. There we go. And it holds pretty well, actually. You know, I've been playing around so much with the other Alien Queen over the years that the port in her mouth just doesn't hold up anymore. I probably have to super glue one of the mouths in because it doesn't stay. But this one, of course, it's brand new. It's just fine. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, you probably can't see it on camera, but the mouth, the inner mouth, actually has a tint of brown mixed in with that silver. That's interesting. I really just noticed that right now. And okay, so I'm gonna pull it out gently, and I'm gonna try putting in the little one. And there you go. So it sits in pretty nicely. I'm gonna have her displayed with the lawn version. I think it looks cooler. And you know, oh, it would have been so nice to have that extra head sculpt, really, for the newborn to be attacking. And actually, speaking of the newborn, let us get her in here. So let's pose this gal a little bit. Just at least get her looking down a tiny bit. Let's move her right here. Please don't fall, darling. And let me grab newborn. And there we are. So, I mean, I'd say this is pretty much to scale, right? I mean, the newborn is absolutely huge. It's definitely bigger than regular xenomorphs. And actually, let's bring in Ripley right here. So yeah, this is definitely, I'd say this is to scale. I mean, I'm no expert, but I'd say that's about right. And ooh, this looks so cool. And again, Neca, missed opportunity. You really should have used that exploding head sculpt when the newborn just bites her head. It was super gross. That would have been cool. Considering you got all the key characters here, right? I mean, you have everybody from that scene, even the xenomorphs. So it would have been really cool, Neca. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I'm curious though if customizers out there, if anyone's watching this who's a customizer, is that something you would do? And if so, how? Because I have no idea. I'm not a customizer, but I'm curious if someone would do that, and it'd be cool. But anywho, before we end this video, y'all know which comparison we're about to make, right? Whew, that was a lot of work. But here she is, the original Queen from Aliens. And she's still really, really pretty. I'm trying to look for differences between her and her. I can't really see any. They're pretty much the same. Obviously the paint is completely different, and she has way more translucent teeth than her. I mean, hers are a little bit transparent, but they're more yellowish. Let's try and get a better view on that. There we go. And again, that's a great looking figure, and everything else should be the same. You'll notice I'm not actually using the regular metal sticks that were provided. I used pieces of a coat hanger just because I needed it at a precise height to fight the power loader, and the ones they gave just was not working for me. And yeah, so here they are, fighting each other. I'm going to be taking pictures because I don't know when the hell this will ever happen again, unless we get another queen, because I really don't like taking her off the shelf unless I have to, because she's really difficult to handle. But man, this is so cool looking. And here she is next to my alpaca. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, now it is time. I answer your question. Do you buy this figure? Do you pass on this figure? Or do you wait for a sale? Now, my answer is pretty much going to be the same as the other videos. It depends if you like Resurrection. If you were to get one queen, I really recommend the blue one, because this one's pretty much the same, only brown. So And I know a lot of folks out there, they reached out to me saying, you know what, I'm probably gonna pass on this. I'm content with the blue one, and this is not really a necessity. And really, you're right. This is really just meant to, I guess, just complement the rest of the Resurrection line. I'm happy they did it. It's very cool. But the blue one will definitely always be the best one, and I really hope this particular figure, the Brown Queen, Resurrection Queen, inspires Neca to do the Alien vs. Predator Queen from the end of that film, because although she is similar to these, she definitely has some key differences. And I think between these two figures, really just actually only using the blue one here on the left, they could scrap some parts, reuse, kit bash it, and it'll pretty much look exactly like the one from AVP. So I hope that happens, and people have been telling me, you know, I hope that happens as well. And you know, folks, I really wish that one was made instead of this one. Again, I'm really happy to have it. I'm a completionist, so I pretty much love every gosh darn figure, but an AVP one would have been even better. But anywho, let me know what your thoughts are. And of course, go check out The Sanctuary on Facebook, and if you love Alien Predator stuff like me, go check out Trophy Room. Okay? Go do that. And ladies and gentlemen, this ends Alien Week. Today I sat down and reviewed every single figure in the line, the newborn, the Ripley, the Xenomorph, and finally the big gal herself here, the Queen. Let me know what are your thoughts on not only this one, but the line as a whole as well. Talk to me. I want to talk to everybody. I love commenting and talking with you guys there. It's a lot of fun. And stay tuned, because I just got Laser Shot Predator, remember? That review is definitely up next. And as always, people, have a good morning, evening, midday, whatever, and take care.